This is the green area behind the buildings here, 3, 4, and 5. And our property goes out to the fence that you see there. And beyond that fence is how the place got its name, on Bear Creek. That's Bear Creek out in there behind this, which is a creek that runs for up to 50 miles from north of Fort Worth down into Dallas, where it joins the Trinity River. And it's wild country out there, and it's not unusual to find most any kind of wild animal, and you often see them down here in the green area. That is one of the reasons why you should never walk a pet in this area here, because the smell of that pet attracts those wild animals, and they're doing everything they can do to keep from attracting them in here to the apartment area. Down to ground level, this is the front yard for half the people who live in the villas. And nobody wants to step out their front door and find a pile of dog doodle right in front of their front door or in their front yard. Not only that, but it smells up the place, and it's dangerous for the pets, because just a short distance out there beyond that fence is Bear Creek. While there's no bears out there, there are coyotes, bobtailed cats, raccoons, foxes, everything like that. And a lot of them, a small dog would make a great meal. And it's been known for even ones on the leash to be grabbed by a larger animal like that and killed. And it's especially a problem if you let your dog walk free out here. There's also a prohibition against walking dogs in this area here, because they furnish a place for that purpose, and I'll show it to you in a moment. The dog walking area runs all the way from the garages you see down there, between the curb, the red curb, and the fence. All that distance up here to this corner, and ever so far there is a sign like this with plastic bags and a disposal area where you can put your trash and your dog droppings here and leave it here without taking it back to your apartment. And it runs from this area along this fence between it and the red curb down here, all the way to the end of the parking lot, and in the grassy area between the red curb and the foundry fence, all the way to the end of the parking lot, across the end of it, and down almost to the exit gate. Now this is a huge area, and it's as convenient as possible to the entire property. Now, leashes are required on all dogs, and this is where they should be walked, nowhere else. The other problem area with dogs are the elevators. Good morning, ladies.
Hello. Taking videos?
Yes. As soon as the dog stops walking, it figures it's time to start doing its thing. And while you're waiting for the elevator to come down, the dog has stepped inside of it, smelled where the other dogs have been, and while you're watching these numbers, he's around in the corner behind you doing his thing, going, ah. There is one way to prevent that, is to pick the dog up and hold it in your arms as you're going up or down in the elevator, and it knows it's not supposed to do anything while it's being held. The maids clean, mop, and deodorize the elevators every day of the week, Monday through Friday, that they're here. But they aren't here on weekends, and quite often the elevators get to smelling like this. And if you live on the second or third floor and use the elevator with your dog, this is something you should always take along with you: roll of paper towels and some cleaner and deodorant. And as you start to get off the elevator, turn around and look in the corners behind you to be sure that your dog didn't leave something. The final admonition is don't feed anything on your patio. Your own pets, or the poor old cat that looks so miserable when he comes up and looks through your door at you, just resist it and don't feed them on the patio. You don't want them started at your place. And just because you don't live on the ground floor, don't think that you're safe, because raccoons can climb those posts as fast as they can a tree. And you don't know destructive power until you've dealt with raccoons. And don't put out bird feeders with bird seed in there. The birds will scratch around in there looking for the seeds they like, scratch the others over the side, and that attracts mice. And you don't want a mouse in your house either. And mice also attract skunks. And it's not unusual to come out first thing in the morning and smell skunk perfume drifting in the air to show that you've had a visitor during the night. In fact, there was one lady that found a rat in her apartment and took several days to get it caught and get rid of it. So just go with these instructions and you'll be doing fine here. Oh yes, one other thing, don't put trash out on your patio overnight.